Hi, it's Lou. Peace be unto you. Well, it says in the scriptures, and it's not the scriptures, but, well, okay, it's Jesus talking, you know. My peace I give unto you. So I've adopted that saying too. Peace be unto you. My peace I leave with you. He had a lot of good statements, didn't he? Okay, I need to write that one down. That's actually two, isn't it? Two different sentences, anyway. He told his apostles when they, okay, so the memory flashes in. I didn't tell you the date. It's April 6th. Oh, wow. No, see, it's May 6th. April 6th is already passed, a month away, a month ago. And that's the April 6th is Jesus' birthday, so that's why I went, oh, wow, you know. Anyway, I've already done that little teeny short video. I was walking out in front of the Dollar Tree next to the clinic that I was at for my blood work. So I need to make a phone call, I guess. I need to try to figure that out because I wasn't able to get one of the blood tests done. And I haven't kept track of it because it's every other month. One of them is every single month, and one is every other month. And evidently, it's the cancer markers. I like to see what they are because they started like at 1400 or something like that, somewhere in that area. And the last ones I saw was 609. I thought that was pretty good. Not that I know anything about what these markers mean, but it's just that it had gone down. But no, I'm just a jabbering away. At my last appointment where I saw my doctor, I had questions written down, and so I'm not sure if I got to hear everything she wanted to say to me because I was also wanting to make sure I had my questions answered. So it's like, okay, what did I miss? I know I must have missed something. But what she did say, because time is of the essence, there's always someone else waiting, you know? They can't spend too much time with you. And I like time. Yeah, don't we all? Um, so anyway, I'm not exactly sure how long it's been since I started those treatments. Need to figure that out. It's time that if I was on the other side of the United States, in other words, if I was in Kennewick where I was with my dad, that's where my surgeon is. And he told me to come back in February. Okay. But it's not the same as if you're not there. It's not so easy. It involves getting there, and it involves hotel rooms and cabs, and anyway. And I don't like. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it seems like somebody was telling me a while back, that surgery has its toll on you, and you can't have too many surgeries. See, I was thinking he was going to fix me back when, but he wanted me to wait until then. Plus, he wanted to see what the end results is for now. In other words, my breast reconstruction. Definitely not perfect. And he had told me some things he could do, but I don't know. I mean, for what he had to work with, he did good. but I just think he could have done better. And he had told me something that he could do in one place, but then when I went to see him again at the allotted time, he had forgotten all about that. But he did say that involves a surgery. So I don't know. Seems like it. It might have been Joe that said that. Was talking about the fact that you have too many surgeries, you might not come out of it. Like I don't understand the reasoning why. So I'm just happy to. Okay, I'm not happy about any of the situation. But then you have to look at what could be versus what is and stuff like that. So, things could have been a lot better. Even with my decision to not have chemo, I had that test done and it said there would have been no benefit to have the chemo. And here you are, how long, we'll say 2 years ago, I'm not even sure now, 22, it was in 22. So this year is 3 years, and it was about right now, June 1st in 22, I had a mastectomy of my right breast. And when they got in there, it was bigger than they thought. And they weren't planning, I guess, on the mastectomy because they thought it was smaller. And I understand that happens a lot, that they don't really get a true picture. Anyway, what is the point? Because I just ramble on. The point is that if there's a chance of not coming back, I just as soon deal with what I've got and live. There's a lot of, I need to look up that word, conundrum. What does that word mean? I know I use it. Yeah, I just got a message from my brother. I just saw a post that his son Cameron is expecting. His partner is expecting. He showed his the picture that they do, sonogram type picture. So I was telling my brother, congratulations. He said that's number 7. See, that's the thing. He didn't start until later. He waited a little bit. And then boom, 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 boom. He's got 6 kids. I believe it's 6, right? I'm pretty dang sure. 3 boys and 3 girls. Krista, TJ, Whitney, Cameron, Sam, and Colin. So up until real recent, Sam has had the children. And then TJ, they finally were able to have one. So anyway, I was just saying that it's going to be cool. You're going to have all these little grandkids toddling all over the place, Be sweet. Nice to have family around where you can, put all the kids together, the cousins and stuff. So are they second cousins? I don't understand all that stuff. I just know that my sister's kids are first cousins with mine and with our siblings. So the siblings' kids are cousins, first cousins. So second cousins, I would think, would be when the first cousin had a kid. I don't know. That's too much for my little brain to figure out at the moment, because all we got to do is ask Google. I think that might sink in one of these days. My sister, I would ask her a question and she'd just say, ask Google. And I'm going, can't you just answer me? You know? She didn't want to extend the energy. Plus, she probably realized I might not remember it anyway. Because if things get too complicated, I got too much on my mind. You find that you want to remember the important things. Yes, I'm leaning forward because I've got this phone sideways and I don't know how much room I've got, But I kind of like the bigger screen better. So, I know I've rambled on and I left my subjects, and what I'll have to do is look at the video, look at the video after, and with a notebook paper, and pen. And then as I see things that I left, I can put it in the comments. That's what I meant. I mean, I've been doing that. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but sometimes if you go back and look at the comments, and you'll see that's what she wanted to say, because I remember later. And I know I leave right in the middle of stories, so that's got to be aggravating. However, if I try to keep up with it, that's what I've got to do, is I've got to go back over the videos and write down hashtags. And then also, I think I saw in the very beginning when I was just thinking about doing this channel, they were... there are things you can do, like if you find something that's not getting a lot of views, which I have some of those. I have a lot of those because, I've got to figure out how to market myself. I did just leave 2 of my introduction cards at the lab. I can't think, or LabQuest is the name of it. But anyway, I was told that I could last time I was there, so hopefully they don't throw them away. But I only left 2. Point is, I need to market myself better. And then I need to hashtag, like I just said. And I'm not sure how the feeds go, and I need to let YouTube know that I want to be monetized, and then maybe they'll help me out. That's what I heard the other day. I read that or heard that, something. Like maybe they'll send me out to a lot of places, whereas I wouldn't normally get sent to. Anyway, I would like to figure that out. So I need to take a class on how to improve my YouTube presence. I'm just like my dad. I laugh all the time, even when I should not oughta. I'm going to sit back here a little bit because I'm having a hard time fit on the page. I was going to read. Yes, I know. I haven't done the Second Coming. Well, I did it. Okay, I did it out of the little book. But I don't think it gave that many scriptures, and the print is small. I could read the words, but then when it did the footnote things, they were so little. And I definitely can't see without my glasses. I need to go get a new prescription. Go get my eyes tested. And then I need to figure out, things are a little blurry. It's blurry. So I do need glasses. So I don't know how I would go about doing that, if I could have contacts that were at one level and then have readers to go with them. But then I probably wouldn't want to mess with the contacts. I just get tired of the glasses. But I'm glad to have the glasses so I can see. I went ahead. I need to mark that, and I didn't find that. Okay, so today is May 6th. And I just did, I don't know where I put those. I just did my ivermectin. And I had started keeping a log when I did that. But I don't know where I put that. I bet I didn't read that. This says, I've got it at the top of a page. It says, read a D&C 93, 5 through 17. It says it's about Joseph Smith. Huh. Yeah, sometimes I've needed a secretary myself, or an assistant, however, whatever you want to call it. Because, they have certain names, but then they have certain duties. It's been so long. It's been so long since I've done all that stuff. Everybody's dinging my bell. I need to copy this too. Because I need to make a list of all the things that I need to do. Dang it. Okay, I'm just gonna write it down. What is today? It is 5, 6, 25. Ivermectin. I'm not sure when I did it the last time, but it wasn't that long ago. For those of you who do not know what ivermectin is, it is a horse wormer. Okay, let's just see. Okay, I was going to open it up and show you. I've shown it before, but that doesn't mean all of you guys are watching all my videos and stuff. So it's a big old syringe, and this is full of a gel. So it's all been mixed, whatever. I'm not sure what's in there. So first, ivermectin, and this says ivermectin paste. But it is a wormer. Parasites. I've already told the story before, and I heard it from a veterinarian on a YouTube, one of the videos, that they were worming the dogs. And that would be even older ones, because usually the older dogs are getting cancer, just like the older people are getting cancer. It's probably our shutdown mechanism. Like, oh, it's time to go. Get your bags packed. So if you can't take anything with you. So for your essence, your energy, your experiences that you had here, your memory. there are those who think that that might be how we're going to be judged, is by the movie that comes out on the screen of your life, out of your eyeballs. Like your head being a projector, you know. And there you are. Being judged, hopefully fairly, by your own mind, not someone else's take on what you've done. You know, intention has a lot to do with things too. Things are not just black and white. We do things for a reason. I mean, it's usually a reaction or something, but it stems from something. Got my eyes looking down. I'm messing with things on my desk. I got a song playing in my head. I listened to it a few times today, but not to it, just a portion of it. And it's Lady Gaga. And what a beautiful song. But all I can say is I haven't heard the whole song, so I can't say it's really a beautiful song. It just sounds so beautiful. I don't know the name of it, but it's all over YouTube and the internet, so she must have just sang it somewhere. I wanna say something about strangers in the night, but I don't know the words. It's something about remembering, but I bet if I go to YouTube over here, it'll pop up. Do 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 do. I need my glasses on. And of course, since I've already seen it, I might not see it. Always remember us this way. Lady Gaga, 317 million views. Tripping. It's wonderful. That says it's 6 years ago. All I know is I've been seeing a video with her singing it, and it is just gorgeous. So, could be from 6 years ago. So you just never know how old these videos are that they've got playing. And it amazes me because I know it's expensive to advertise. Advertisements like on Facebook. If you were really doing advertisements, there, I don't remember what it cost, but it's way spendy. Do 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 do. I don't know how to put it out to you because I don't know it good enough. I saw it up here once, but it was different. So we're not going to worry about that. I don't know what I ought to do. So that's one thing. Because I do want to do my ivermectin. I've got to figure out some things about my insurance. And then, you know, that would be interesting. We should go find that right there. That's it. Do 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 do. Okay, I gotta not do that. It's gone. But it's something about remembering. I imagine it's not just mine. Maybe it's on Facebook because this is YouTube. All I know is I've heard it and I just think it's beautiful. But see, it's on one of those reels, so you only get a short little bit of it. La 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 la. Do 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 do. Okay. That poor cat sneezing. It's not. I don't know what it's doing. Doing some kind of sneezing over and over again. It's got a problem. Maybe it needs to take allergy medicine. No, that's a thought. Animals take all kinds of medicine. Poor little Labradoodle. My dad's dog, Lance. He had him on a thyroid pill every day. Wonder if that had any side effects. How do you know? Does the dog tell you so? Okay, well, so it's gone. I keep going over there to look. So now what I want, okay, I want to go to the scriptures. Da 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 da. Do, 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 do. Okay, where was I going to go? I was going to go to the Doctrine and Covenants. And where is it? 93. Okay. 5 through 17. Okay. So it's saying to start at verse 5, but I'm just wondering, because see, this is a whole new section, so you have your synopsis. And I'm not sure. I'm going to move some stuff around here. Get this closer to me so I can see it. Okay, so what shall we do here? Section 93, the very beginning, it says revelation given through Joseph Smith, the prophet, at Kirkland, Ohio, May 6th, 1833. Isn't that interesting? Today is May 6th. That is really interesting. Okay, May 6th, 1833. It's not quite been 200 years for this thing because we're at 25. 8 more years, maybe. I'm not sure if I got my math right. I was just trying to count it up. Now I've got something in my eyeball. It's all dry, so I don't understand that. So she's singing in my head, although I don't have the words. Okay, so that just caught me off, by surprise. It's the same date. So this was a revelation given through Joseph Smith the prophet at Kirkland, Ohio, May 6, 1833. I wonder if they have the temple finished yet. Okay, so now it's going to do a synopsis breakdown. It says like verses 1 through 5. All who are faithful will see the Lord. Verses 6 through 18. John bore record that the Son of God went from grace to grace until he received a fullness of the glory of the Father. I'm wondering, I did say it right. Son of God went from grace to grace until he received a fullness of the glory of the Father. So he did receive the fullness of the glory of the Father. Do you guys understand what that means? I'm not totally sure what it all means either, but the point is he learned a little at a time until he had it all. And we can do the same thing. If you've been paying attention to my videos that I've done recently, I'm sure I mentioned the fact that we can be joint heirs with Jesus Christ. And it just said he's got the fullness of the Father's glory. Isn't that what it said? Yes, it is. Fullness of the glory of the Father. So we can all, if you can put that in your head, we can all attain the glory of the Father. Understand? I know a lot of times I say, we can become like God, and we can. It's the plan. It's the plan that we are supposed to be like our Father and Mother in heaven. So now I can't see because I took my glasses off. I haven't done my videos and I haven't done what I said because I'm supposed to be doing the second coming. But I found it interesting that I turned to this and it's written down. So I guess I could go to 5 and see. Maybe it's something I did already read, but I don't think so. I don't think I've read very much out of the Doctrine and Covenants. Okay, so it says 19 through 20. Faithful men going from grace to grace will also receive of his fullness. 21 and 22. Those who are begotten through Christ are the church of the firstborn. 23 through 28. Christ received a fullness of all truth, and man by obedience may do likewise. 29 through 32. Man was in the beginning with God. 33 through 35. The elements are eternal, and man may receive a fullness of joy in the resurrection. 36 and 37. The glory of God is intelligence. 38 through 40. Children are innocent before God because of the redemption of Christ. 41 through 53. The leading brethren are commanded to set their families in order. Okay, this is in the Doctrine and Covenants. So that's not out there in the world as far as in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This is a book of Scripture. It is a book of revelation for the church, which are all of us who belong to the church and those who may come into the church. Okay, so if you start at 5, I'm just going to go ahead and start at 1. And hopefully it'll be okay. So this is verse 1. Verily thus saith the Lord, it shall come to pass that every soul who forsaketh his sins, and cometh unto me, and calleth on my name, and obeyeth my voice, and keepeth my commandments, shall see my face, and know that I am. All right, I was going to add something there. The great I am. He is the great I am. Okay, some of you will know what I'm talking about. Shall see my face and know that I am. Then he's got a semicolon here, whoever put that in. And, okay, this is verse 2. And that I am the true light, that lighteth every man that cometh into the world. Verse 3. And that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, and the Father and I are one. The Father, because he gave me of his fullness, and the Son, because I was in the world, and made flesh my tabernacle, and dwelt among the sons of men. Okay, that was all of 4. 5, it says, I was in the world, and received of my Father, and the works of him were plainly manifest. And John saw and bore record of the fullness of my glory, and the fullness of John record. And the fullness of John's record is hereafter to be revealed. And he bore record, saying, I saw his glory, that he was in the beginning, before the world was. Therefore, in the beginning, the Word was, for he was the Word, even the messenger of salvation, the light and the Redeemer of the world, the Spirit of truth, who came into the world, because the world was made by him, and in him was the life of men, and the light of men. The worlds were made by him. Men were made by him. All things were made by him, and through him, and of him. And I, John, bear record that I beheld his glory, as the glory of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Even the Spirit of truth, which came and dwelt in the flesh, and dwelt among us. And I, John, saw that he received not of the fullness at the first, but received grace for grace. And he received not of the fullness at first, but continued from grace to grace until he received a fullness. And thus he was called the Son of God, because he received not of the fullness at the first. And I, John, bear record, and lo, the heavens were opened, and the Holy Ghost descended upon him in the form of a dove. and sat upon him. And there came a voice out of heaven saying, "This is my beloved Son." And I, John, bear record that he received a fullness of the glory of the Father. And he received all power, both in heaven and on earth. And the glory of the Father was with him, for he dwelt in him. And it shall come to pass that if you are faithful, you shall receive the fullness of the record of John. I give unto you these sayings that you may understand and know how to worship, and know what you worship, that you may come unto the Father in my name, and in due time receive of his fullness. For if you keep my commandments, you shall receive of his fullness, and be glorified in me as I am in the Father. Therefore I say unto you, you shall receive grace for grace. And now verily I say unto you, I was in the beginning with the Father, and am the firstborn. And all those who are begotten through me are partakers of the glory of the same, and are the church of the firstborn. Ye were also in the beginning with the Father, that which is Spirit, even the Spirit of truth. And truth is knowledge of things as they are, and as things were, and as they are to come. And whatsoever is more or less than this is the spirit of that wicked one, who was a liar from the beginning. The Spirit of truth is of God. I am the Spirit of truth. And John bore record of me, saying, he received a fullness of truth, yea, even of all truth. And no man receiveth a fullness unless he keepeth his commandments. And he that keepeth, I added a word, and. Okay, now I'm lost. And no man receiveth the fullness unless he keepeth his commandments. He that keepeth his commandments receiveth truth and light, until he is glorified in truth and knoweth all things. Verse 29. Man was also in the beginning with God. Intelligence, or the light of truth, was not created or made, neither indeed can be. All truth is independent in that sphere in which God has placed it, to act for itself, as all intelligence also, otherwise there is no existence. Behold, here is the agency of man, and here is the condemnation of man, because that which was from the beginning is plainly manifest unto them, and they receive not the light. Receive not the light. And every man whose spirit receiveth not the light is under condemnation. For man is spirit, the elements are eternal, and spirit and element inseparably connected receive a fullness of joy. And when separated, man cannot receive a fullness of joy. The elements are the tabernacle of God. Yea, man is the tabernacle of God, even temples. And whatsoever temple is defiled, God shall destroy that temple. The glory of God is intelligence, or, in other words, light and truth. Light and truth forsake that evil one. Every spirit of man was innocent in the beginning, and God, having redeemed man from the fall, men became again in their infant state, innocent before God. And that wicked one cometh and taketh away light and truth through disobedience from the children of men, and because of the tradition of their fathers. But I have commanded you to bring up your children in light and truth. But verily I say unto you, my servant Frederick G. Williams, you have continued under this condemnation. You have not taught your children light and truth according to the commandments, and that wicked one hath power as yet over you, and this is the cause of your affliction. And now a commandment I give unto you, if you will be delivered, you shall set in order your own house, for there are many things that are not right in your house. Verily I say unto my servant Sidney Rigdon, that in some things he hath not kept the commandments concerning his children. Therefore, first set in order thy house. Verily I say unto my servant Joseph Smith Jr., or in other words, I will call you friends, for you are my friends, and ye shall have an inheritance with me. I called you servants for the world's sake, and ye are their servants for my sake. And now verily I say unto Joseph Smith Jr., you have not kept the commandments, and must needs stand rebuked before the Lord. Your family must needs repent and forsake some things, and give more earnest heed unto your sayings, or be removed out of their place. What I say unto one, I say unto all, pray always, lest that wicked one have power in you, and remove you out of your place. My servant Newell K. Whitney, also a bishop of my church, hath need to be chastened, and set in order his family, and see that they are more diligent and concerned at home, and pray always, or they shall be removed out of their place. This is verse 51. Now I say unto you, my friends, let my servant Sidney Rigdon go on his journey, and make haste, and also proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the gospel of salvation, as I shall give him utterance. And by your prayer of faith with one consent, I will uphold him. And let my servants, Joseph Smith Jr. and Frederick G. Williams, make haste also, and it shall be given them even according to the prayer of faith, and inasmuch as you keep my sayings, you shall not be confounded in this world, nor in the world to come. And verily I say unto you that it is my will that you shall hasten to translate my scriptures, and to obtain a knowledge of history and of countries and of kingdoms and of let's see and of kingdoms, of laws of God and man, and all this for the salvation of Zion. Amen. Okay, so I read all of Doctrine and Covenants 93, and I was going to start keeping track of what I've read. Okay, I'm just going to put that on here. I read D and C, chapter 93. It's not chapter, it is section. You could still call it, but it's a section 93. And what's it about? Not really sure. I read it, but I don't know what it's about. It's a revelation. They were being rebuked. Okay. I don't even need to write that down. I don't even know if I want to start that. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. I don't know. See, we are already at 51 minutes, so I should probably stop. There sits the second coming of Christ, but there are 10 pages. I do want to give it, I don't know what my word would be. In other words, I don't want to be tired when I'm reading it. I want to give it its own life. And since I keep going somewhere else and reading, I don't know if I'll ever get there, but I will. And what I'm going to try to do is also look up the scriptures that it tells us to look at. There should be a bunch of them. Let me see. Second coming of Christ. Oh, that's just reading and reading and reading. Wow. All right, so there's a whole bunch of reading, and then you get to Acts 1, verses 9 through 11. So that's in the New Testament. I got a song playing in my head, I swear. I love that song. I sure hope it's going to be on their album. I think it's got to be. So I think they're fixing to put out an album. And yes, the word fixin'. It does come from me being in the South. First part of my life, I was in North Carolina. And I do have something in my eye, I swear. Anyway, I don't know if they're going to change the name even. They could, but what it was called was Math. And I have seen the videos, on Facebook and YouTube. I'm not sure which is which, probably YouTube mostly, but I've seen them play the very first time that they played it, and I also saw the second time. I'm just talking about on my little iPad, or maybe, yeah, for now it's on my iPad. And I gave it a rest. I listened to it a whole lot last year, but the point is, Math. I love that song. I like the beat and I just like the song. So that one's got to be. They got to put that one in the new album. And then I don't know the rest of them. I just know that I really like that one. Yeah, I do. And it's playing in my head. Yeah, I just got to get it in my head. And that's what I was doing before. Huh. Adam on Diamond. What's going to take place there? Okay, so if I'm remembering right, and there it is, it's in Missouri, which is Spring Hill, Daviess County, Missouri. It's in Doctrine and Covenants 116. It's talking about Jesus coming and getting all the keys back, and that it's going to take place in Adam on Diamond. And I can't remember the story about that. I think it. So that seems like a hard name to say. Somebody, maybe it's the brother of Jared. Maybe it was his name that was so strange that he was always called the brother of Jared. Armageddon, the battle of that great day of God Almighty. Revelation 16, verses 14 through 21. The greatest war, slaughter, carnage, bloodshed, and desolation of all the ages will be in full swing at the very hour when Christ returns. There shall be a time of trouble, says Daniel, such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. That's in Daniel 12, verse 1. All the nations of the earth shall be gathered at Jerusalem, at Armageddon, in the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of decision. It will be a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness as the morning spread upon the mountains. The host of Gog and Magog, the armies assembled to battle, shall be a great people and a strong and then it's got a semicolon. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. And then that's Joel 2, verses 2 through 3. And then we're on to another verse. It's not verses, but it's another paragraph, okay? Jerusalem shall be taken, and Jerusalem shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. Ezekiel 14:2. And all things shall be in commotion. Then shall the Lord set his foot upon the Mount of Olives, fight the battles of his saints, take vengeance on the wicked, bring peace to the earth, and reign as king over all the earth. It's craziness. I think I'm about done. I'm over an hour. So, the great and dreadful day of the Lord. To the wicked, the second coming will be a great and dreadful day, a day of sorrow and desolation, a day of burning and vengeance, a day of judgment, which the wicked shall not abide, for the presence of the Lord shall be as the melting fire that burneth, and as the fire which causeth the waters to boil. O Lord, thou shalt come down to make thy name known to thine adversaries, and all nations shall tremble at thy presence when thou doest terrible things. They look not for. Okay, I gotta have a drink. Okay, I probably have read enough. My throat's all dry. There's a whole bunch of stuff, goodness. So here's a thing called second death, and it says to look up spiritual death. There's a thing called second estate, which is talking about our life somehow. Okay. Signs of the times to be fulfilled. Many revelations summarize the signs and world conditions, the wars, perils, and commotions of the last days, preceding our Lord's return. The prophetic word tells of plagues, pestilence, famine, and disease, such as the world has never before seen, and scourges, tribulations, calamities, and disasters without parallel, of strife, wars, rumors of wars, blood, carnage, and desolation, which overshadow anything of past ages, of the elements being in commotion, with resultant floods, storms, fires, whirlwinds, earthquakes, all of the proportion and intensity unknown to men of former days, of evil, iniquity, wickedness, turmoil, rapine, murder, crime, and commotion among men almost beyond comprehension. This is Matthew 24, and it says Luke 21, and this is Doctrine and Covenants 29, 43, 45. Those are all chapters. 86, 87. And then in 88, you want to go to verses 86 through 98. And then 133. Then Joseph Smith. First, this is Joseph Smith, and then it's got 1 semicolon MAL, so I would think that's Malachi. 3, 4. Great signs in heaven and in earth. He that feareth me shall be looking forth for the great day of the Lord to come, even for the signs of the coming of the Son of Man. And they shall see signs and wonders, for they shall be shown forth in the heavens above and in the earth beneath. And they shall behold blood and fire and vapors of smoke. And before the day of the Lord shall come, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon be turned into blood, and the stars fall from the heavens. That's in Doctrine and Covenants, section 45, verse 39 through 42, and section 29, verse 14, and Joel 2, 30 through 31, and Matthew 24, 29. Okay, I'm done. There's things going on in the house. I need to go check it out because we got us a thing going on. I have a feeling, I started to say that earlier. I think a whole bunch of new babies is coming to our family. My brother's son Cameron just showed a post with a sonogram type picture of a baby. Might just barely be, you know, it was because I showed the little sonogram picture and then a picture of those pregnancy tests, and then I don't know what else it was, but so that's Cameron. And my grandson Tyler, his girlfriend's having a baby, and she's about halfway through. I think I heard Jessica say she's about halfway done, and we're going tonight to have a gender reveal, so that'll be exciting. I need to figure out what it is I want to wear, pink or blue. I say, okay, but I don't know what she's going to have. We could just hope for, you know, we just hope for a healthy baby. So my Carly is engaged to get married, and I think they're going to do it pretty soon. I don't know. They could change the date. I think they're looking at July 5th, but there could be something getting in the way. I just hope not. And then, so we got babies coming. Baby is due September 20th, somewhere around there, somewhere around the middle of September. And Carly's birthday is September 27th. And I guess Tyler, the dad, his birthday is in September also. I'm wanting to say the 12th, but it's terrible. I don't know my grandchildren's birthdays. I need to do better. But anyway. Do 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 do. La 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 la. So I'm not sure how to go about titling this video. That's why I keep putting Just Visit with Blue, because I don't know what to do. Okay, because I visit and then I also read. So I guess I can put D&C section 93 plus a visit. So let's visit with Lou, and she read D&C section 93. That's what I need to do. Okay, people. Well, listen, I'm going to go have some fun, enjoy my family tonight. We're basically having a party. Tyler's been making food all day. In other words, he's been he likes to smoke meat. So he's done something with some chicken. He's got it in the smoker. It smells good. I guess I can take these off. I haven't done very good at eating today at all. I didn't eat all morning, and then when I did eat, I had a bowl of cereal. But we're going to have a good dinner tonight, so it's just my head's starting to bother me. I might need to just take me a BC powder, because I don't want to have no headache when I'm supposed to be enjoying. And I really need to call and find out about that blood test. I don't understand. All I know is that lady today said that it didn't pass for last month either. Okay, well, I haven't gotten a bill and I better not get a bill. I'm calling a halt to all this stuff right now. See, that's the deal. The very first place, they got a grant for me. And I bet that's why I didn't have to pay any of that stuff. But I have good insurance, and I mean, I pay $170, over $170 a month. I should get something for that. Got to figure that out. But anyway, you guys have a great day. Good day, mate. And I'll see you around the bend, okay?